Welcome to Snipisode 10 of the Daily Dose of D.M.C podcast. Today is Friday, January 13th, 2023, and I'm your host, HK.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. For some of you, today may be the last day of the work week or the last day of school for this week. However, we should consider the fact that every week has 7 days. 7 days to transform our minds to positivity. 7 days to live life each and every week. That gives you 10,080 minutes in a week. That's 604,800 seconds. That's absolutely beautiful. That gives us so much time to do the things we love and do things that maybe sometimes we don't like doing, but we need to do because that's part of life. And today I want to reflect on the last 2 weeks. But before we do that, I want to quote John Dewey. John Dewey was an American philosopher, a psychologist. He was an educational reformer who really transformed philosophy and progressive education in the United States in the late 19th and 20th century. And he quotes, "Reflection is a means of transforming experience into insight." We talked about positive mindset, gratitude, positive reframing, sense of self, resilience, discipline, fear, mindfulness. And each one of those keywords, as we've discussed them over the past 2 weeks, has really given me insight as well to remind myself of certain things and certain aspects that I need to consider in my life each and every day. And I think that's the importance of what the Daily Dose is, to just remind all of us that, you know, even in those situations or times when life is difficult, to just step back and look at things in a different light. Yeah, we talked about positive mindset, or basically that general attitude of optimism and positivity. We talked about gratitude, being thankful, showing appreciation. I think that is so important, especially in today's me society. We talked about positive reframing, that ability to look at negative situations, whether at work, at home, whatever it might be, through the course of your day, any experiences you may have in a more positive light. Talked about sense of self, your identity, individuality. From there we slipped into resilience. Resilience, so important, the ability to bounce back from adversity and from challenges that we face in our everyday lives. We talked about discipline, that ability to control your own behavior. Even touched a little bit about society's rules and how we grow up as children, you know, to obey rules and codes of behavior. But sometimes, you know, we're definitely allowed to question them. We talked about fear, that emotional response to perceived danger and threat, and how to react to that, how to shift and utilize that to transform our minds. And yesterday we talked about mindfulness, that practice of being present and fully engaged in the current moment, and that without judgment. Very important, without judgment. That's something hard to do. So how do all these things tie into the Daily Dose of DMC? A positive mindset, gratitude, positive reframing, mindfulness, those key words, they all tie into dedication, motivation, and commitment by helping us maintain a positive attitude, helps us focus on the present, helps us find meaning, purpose in our goals and the actions that we want to take in our lives. It's very straightforward. A positive mindset helps us stay motivated, helps us stay committed to our goals, even when we're faced with challenges, when we're faced with adversities. In whatever environment we're in, every single day, at school, at work, at home, gratitude's so important. It helps us to appreciate the things that we have. And through that, we can find motivation in the present moment. Positive reframing helps us to see the potential for growth, to learn from difficult situations. And that ultimately translates into motivation and dedication because it allows us to overcome obstacles. Mindfulness, what we talked about yesterday, helps us stay focused. It helps us commit ourselves to those goals and simply just to bring awareness in our minds to the present moment. It helps us reduce those distractions and the negative thoughts that we consistently have. And that's what the Daily Dose is all about. We want to transform our minds towards positive, towards learning how to control our minds, our behaviors, not to be like robots, but to see life from a positive perspective. And I don't want to sound naive in the sense of looking at everything, life is beautiful and it's all great and it's all wonderful. but to be able to turn experiences that we have to make us better versions of ourselves each and every day. That sense of self, resilience, discipline, fear, it also ties into dedication, motivation, and commitment because it provides us with a sense of self-awareness, self-control, that inner strength. Yeah, a strong sense of self leads to greater self-confidence, what we discussed about. Yeah, that increases your motivation, your dedication to your personal goals. Resilience helps you overcome obstacles, setbacks, remain dedicated to your goals. Discipline helps you as an individual stay focused and motivated because it provides you that structure, that self-control, that to action, to execute on the goals that you have. And fear ultimately serves as, yes, a survival mechanism, but it also leads to increased focus and motivation to achieve those personal goals that you have. And that's what we're doing. So that journey, that transitioning of our minds to a positive mindset, and it's so important to do that because having a positive mindset, is a journey. It's about understanding yourself and learning. It's self-discovery, self-awareness, all these things we've been discussing, and this goes for myself as well. It's about intentional practices. So important. We need to consciously practice these things every single day because we just take things for granted. We need to recognize our negative thoughts and thought patterns that we may have because when we're aware of those, those things hold us back. They prevent us from having a positive mindset. We need to challenge negative thoughts because once we identify those negative thoughts, we can question them, we can challenge the validity of those, we can use positive reframing techniques that we discussed about, and really challenge that negative thought in our minds to move towards positivity. And that allows us to have that dedication, that motivation, and ultimately that commitment to reaching our personal goals and the things we want to accomplish in life. And practicing gratitude. I wake up every morning, like I said to you, I told you guys, every single morning, the first thing I just say to myself, sometimes even out loud, thank you for another beautiful day. That's it. Gratitude is so important. If you incorporate gratitude in your daily life, I guarantee you, I hope some of you have either started some kind of gratitude journal or taken some notes because expressing gratitude also to others in your relationships helps you shift that focus from your negative thoughts onto all the positive aspects of life. It allows you to reflect kind of what we're doing right now. Cultivate mindfulness. Mindful practices such as meditation, bring awareness to the present moment. Those things help you reduce negative thoughts. We need to develop a growth mindset. Growth mindset is so important. If you want to do some reading today or this weekend, I encourage you to look at growth mindset and static mindset because adopting that growth mindset is really something where you can grow your abilities through effort and learning, and it helps you to overcome that limiting belief that's basically inside your head. That fixed mindset, that static mindset. Also, what I've noted over the past couple Snipisodes is to practice self-compassion. Be kind, be understanding to yourself. This is something I've had to learn. It's not just about learning from our mistakes and moving forward, but you got to be kind and understand the fact that you will make mistakes. However, on those days where you have a bad day, at work, at home, you're frustrated, remember, it's all your choice. We all make mistakes, but remind yourself to practice self-compassion. And utilize positive affirmations if you have to, because positive affirmations is simply an assistant to help you reprogram your mind to think more positively. And then ultimately, one of the key points that we've talked about over the last episode is surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with people who are positive. Go to places. I love hiking. We love doing that as a family. Being outside in nature, up on a mountaintop or on the seaside, in the woods. Surround yourself with positive people, places, or anything that can help you reinforce positive thoughts and attitudes. I just want you guys to remember that transitioning, for us to transition to a positive mindset is a process. It's going to take time. But if together we practice these things on a consistent basis, and if we're patient with ourselves, showing that self-compassion, then we will achieve that together. I hope you guys have had fun those for the last 2 weeks. I definitely have. Learned a lot about myself. Reiterate a lot of things I need to get back and dive into when I'm making my notes and whatnot. Have a beautiful weekend for those of you who are running into the weekend. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. That being said, guys, stay dedicated, motivated, committed, all day, every day.